come on. Are you okay?
No, Terry. For the last time, I'm not okay. But you know what would make me feel better? The brand new Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Finally continuing the story after years of just KOF, 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 KOF. We finally get a new Fatal Fury and can answer the question, is Rock's mom alive? Maybe. But we bring back all the old mechanics of Fatal Fury, and I really think SNK has been wanting to make this for a while. The main man, Terry Bogard, has just been in everything.
That's Terry Bogard.
I'm just waiting till he's in Tekken. I know it will happen, and I'm not delusional. There has been some game controversy, a whole 180 shift in the community, so a lot to cover, but we're finally out of the ooh shiny phase of the game, where we think everything is so cool, and now we can kind of look at things and critically and go, how do we really feel about this game? And how does the game hold up? Honestly, to me, the game is going really well. I feel like there are some things that are missing, but there are also some amazing things. Off the bat, gotta give some criticism. The SNK bad UI, the yellow is just so ugly, and the online rank matches is even worse. I do like the character select screen when it's not online, but the online match UI, I have a lot to talk about there, especially when I get there. Good points though. Gameplay. The main draw of a fighting game. I love the gameplay. Moves feel so smooth. Old classic mechanics from Garou, like the TOP system, now known as with reversals and air moves. The super meter with all the old classics and new supers. Like the ultimate moves, they are very hard to pull off, but again, as I was saying earlier, we need moves that are kind of like situational, so when they do happen, it's really cool.
I can do this all day.
Just blocking and the break combo systems, the feints and combo breaks stay about the same, which always felt like modern mechanics, but now we get to see them in full use. We do also now get EX moves, and you can just spam these, but there is a drawback, the new Rev Guard and Rev Meter. Rev Guard is just a really good way to block everything, but the Rev Meter builds up while you use EX and the SVP, and if you use too much of it, it leaves you in burnout, a very weak state that you do not want to be in. Combos are built around these EX moves. You gotta find the right EX moves that build. Some of them you can honestly just spam back to back to back to back, but that leaves you in very high burnout. I've learned it's better to do a combo that has a little less, the trade-off is a little less damage, but more safety later. I have seen combos that just hurt my hands thinking about trying to do them, as practicing the main B&B is already getting to me, but breaking my supers to keep going and getting more supers is a little wild. I did also see one thing I didn't like: if you play very defensively, put into burnout a lot. And I don't think that's a good thing. I mean, I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's a good thing that they want to encourage offense, but I don't think it's a good thing that I got hit 3 times and then my Rev Guard is in 70%. And I'm almost in burnout in like 2 hits. I like the idea of encouraging using different things, but it feels like we're completely discouraging defense. I think it is a good evolution, taking some KOF aspects and adding in the old TOP system with Fatal Fury had, and the breaks, very smooth battle system. If you want something to jump off to, so you're like, oh, this is kind of what it's familiar, think about Street Fighter. It is very similar to Street Fighter 6 in that regard. But once you learn how to do things, like just blocking, and you get really good, you can do some cool stuff, like really, really high level stuff, but let's be honest, we're not doing that. We have a reaction time of 5-year-olds, and our hands break even attempting a frame 1 combo. Combos are a little tricky, but I think it's something you just have to like get the hang of and you'll understand. When I was playing this game, in the first few matches I played online, I just got handed to me and destroyed. But then I had a moment where I was like, oh, I get it. Won one really good match and then proceeded to get beat for, well, another few minutes. Then I had another understanding moment to then be preceded by you know what. Gameplay also really complements the roster, as a lot of these characters, it just feels right for them to have these moves. Now, we do really need to talk about the roster. Mostly the same characters from Garou, Mark of the Wolves. There are some changes, like they got rid of Freeman. See, we all knew he was a mistake. Terry, the main man, you know what I'm here for. The legend, the myth, Mr. Are You Okay? Is there anything I really need to say about him? We got a student, Rock Howard, again mixing Geese and Terry moves. Still bottom 3, no love to Rock. His runs and EXs, he's very fun to play, even if he's bad. We also get the classic characters coming back from OG Fatal Fury, which I'm happy these two could get in the game. We have Mai in a brand new design. Put your hand away. Put your hand away. Put it down. SNK, classic women characters. When SNK makes a female, I mean, you know what they're leaning towards. And Mai isn't the only one. We got returning B. Jeanette, and tell me why she is countering with her whole S all caps exclamation point. But also returning from the original Fatal Fury, Billy, yes, my British man. I'll be honest, I hate his voice. It's horrendous to hear. Like, that's why I turned to Japanese. Well, no, that's not the reason why I turned to Japanese. It was mainly for Terry. No hate to the English VA, but see, English Terry speaks in English, which is fine. It works. It gets the job done. But it's not English Terry. You just gotta hear English Terry and English Terry. Like, just go ahead.
Are you okay?
And change it. You'll thank me by liking the video. We also got Mr. Gripped Up, Oiled Up, put you into a cutscene T-Zoc. I've been playing him, and well, it's so satisfying getting supers. Unfortunately, he's not beta T-Zoc. That was a whole menace. Kevin is back in full, and honestly, they really didn't touch him much. If it ain't broke, don't fix him. Hotaru Futaba's kind of the same way. It's like, just works. Gato, Futaba's brother, is now blind with his story, but still impressive as others. They also gave him like a Leo Whitefang back stance. Don't know how useful it actually is. And then Kushan, but oh wait, no, they actually used his actual name, Marco Rodriguez, finally giving him the respect he deserves, even though they're still making him make this face. Nonghong is here. He mixes a little bit of his father's moves, the ones that he didn't have in Marks of the Wolves, but it also still doesn't seem like he's trained. And no Jaehoon. Damn. Can't wait to tell the Jaehoon mains who took their spot. Hokunomaru also got such a glow up in this game. He really went from some random toddler to an actual complete cool looking character. And Kane Hellman, of course, more of a JoJo reference now, but surprisingly not evil. I'll get to the story and stuff about that later. And some new characters. Vox is the first one, and take Grant from Garou, the big dude, take him off steroids and have him listen to Evo music, and you get Vox. You do learn he is Grant's student, but I'm just like, why didn't you just put Grant back in? You get Preshka, Joe's student. She has a long rekka that can be very annoying. Also, very similar Muay Thai moves to Joe. I will also say she's like the beginner character. And well, the two you know we were going to talk about. Yeah. Man, the Saudis buying SNK would have no effect on it. Oh, it did. And the first character, the man, the myth. Why is he in this game? Cristiano Ronaldo. Do my eyes deceive me? Is this why we couldn't get Jaehoon? At the beginning, I was cool with Ronaldo. I was like, you know what? This is a good strat to get new people in. He's so popular that people will flock to this game. One, it hasn't done that. And two, this is what gets me. Ronaldo can't be used outside of regular gameplay. Like, we just got two humans, just dudes. And it's so crazy because, like, Ronaldo, he's such a nothing character in this game. Like, you can't even play arcade mode. You can't even play with him. He's just such a nothing, non-existent piece of garbage. Like, because of the licensing and him being Ronaldo and probably this stuff with, like, the soccer teams, you can't do anything. I was like, oh, cool, it's Ronaldo. You know, and that's funny. But now I'm just like, why are you even here? I hope you're low tier bottom trash and nobody plays you. You can sui on these nuts. And then the other just human, Salvatore. You were a part of this SNK stuff and you were hyped for City of the Wolves. I know you hated Ganacchi. I did too when he was first revealed. I was like, who is this Salvatore guy? We're all kind of cool with Ronaldo, some people more than others, but Salvatore is kind of like, why are you here? But then it's like, oh, my bad, I didn't know you were chill like that. Start to learn who Salvatore Ganacchi is, and you're like, alright, pretty good music video for SNK you got there. Oh, you're also like a lifetime fan of SNK games, and then you're like, oh man, you're actually kind of saucy in the game, and you understand the lore, and it's like actually pretty cool having you here, even though your moves look so goofy, but I think that's just better. And then it's like, wait, you went to EVO? And then I'm like, oh wait, you worked with this game and the developers to really put a good experience in? I was just like, you know what? My bad. I'll put some respect on your name. And the detail in its design, like so many different idle animations, and he's just overall goofy. Which has kind of made the fan base and also me go, you know what? I fuck with this guy. I owe him an apology. I was not familiar with his game. But see, even if I can say that, I still can't like him under any circumstance because of one factor. And I know for a fact he stole Duck King's spot. And I can never forgive him for that. Duck King is in all of his endings. Right? He was said to be the one to teach him his moves. And look at this super. You can't tell me that's not Duck King. So for now, I hate him. But otherwise, he's chill, right? And the Duck King stuff is even worse because in the background of one of the stages, it's all Duck King's ducks. Seeing these characters, especially Ronaldo, it's like, what are we doing? Yeah, man, I can't wait to play the next KOF where I play Ronaldo, Cam Newton, and LeBron James versus my opponent's team of Salvatore, Jungkook, and Drizzy Drake. Don't let him near Futaba. But then I look at the DLC and I'm like, we could have gotten Andy and Joe as base roster characters, but instead we just get two dudes? It doesn't add up. Characters I took the most time with was Billy, whose whole game plan is just stay back and then bait them to move and get a full combo. T-Zoc, I just like the standard hoop grappler, like who needs combos? I can just... And Terry. I don't even need to explain why I'm playing Terry. There is luckily enough characters and gameplay styles that everyone could find a character that they're interested in and would like. Now, playing online. In matches, it's fine. Like, the gameplay is smooth, I get in with people quickly, and I just get to have fun. Everything surrounding it, it's not that it's bad, it's that it's unfinished. It's just this piss yellow, ugly. Matches are kind of like all over the place. Like I could be rookie fighting people way higher than I should. I like it because it gives me a challenge, but it can be very disheartening going on a very long lose streak just starting out. And then like the character select screen is abysmal. There is color customization, which I do like. I love being able to play King in KOF. But no costumes, which is a little weird. I bet we'll get some since Terry does have one as like a early day DLC thing. I just hope they're not paid, but they're gonna be paid. I know they were. If SNK wants to make a ton of money, swimsuit my costumes. You'll make millions. Again, but it just feels unfinished. We also have Stu's story modes, episodes of Southtown, and arcade. It's pretty standard fights. And then an arcade boss ending. I do like Rock Howard's ending with getting to fight like a corrupted version of him. He's one of the only fights that really gave me issues. I was doing so well and then he hit me once and I was like, am I dead? Yep, I'm dead. But not everyone fights him. Like T-Zoc fights Emo Man, but his ending is so great. The kids from the last game hypes him up and says, I thought of you when I was down, and I know that you could get back up, so I continued to believe in myself. Yep, T-Zoc's favorite character now. God. And Billy's just confused me. What do you mean Rock is related to the Jin brothers? Oh, and Billy didn't destroy the scrolls? Idiot. Also, Rock's ending, his mom is alive, I guess. What happened? Is I mean, Mr. Big staged her death. Kane also isn't that evil. Like, he was just kind of like, hey, Rock, let's go get your mom back. And the whole legacy, I feel like I'm missing a lot of points here. Like, one too many. I hate to be like this, but this would have worked better like a big overall story mode. But it kind of was like, what the fuck is going on? Can someone please explain? Like, I was just very confused watching a majority of these arcade modes. But there's also episodes of Southtown, and they're just fun little adventures. But again, they're just characters having fun. And I like this a lot better, seeing just characters kind of living their daily lives. One thing I will say, it's very repetitive though. It feels like the same fights over and over. They have some cool NPC characters, but after you fight them 3 times, you're like, oh, this guy again. It really just felt like, you know, target practice. They're supposed to unique fights, but most of them just were like, hey, fight these 3 characters back to back, and then fight these 3 characters. The only 2 that I remember that actually were like, oh, these are kind of cool, was this gold version of this one dude who had a 1 in 40 chance to kill him. I hit him so many times just for my next round to have him be one-shotted. I think more like that would have been cool. Or another one where it was like, I'm in burnout the whole time, so I can't do my high combos. I have to learn to work around that. I'd say, honestly, do the character you like, and honestly, just do Terry's. Terry's is cool because there is a whole separate character to fight. You're dead! Well, his shadow that can't die, because, I don't know, he hates Terry that much or something. Like, it's actually cool because he's a full fightable character in the arcades when you get to fight secret bosses, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm fighting Shadow Geese. I do kind of like fights like this were more common because it's great for everyone just to go, nah, Geese, you can't be back, and just to see him in this new light and be able to fight him. But otherwise, it's just so repetitive. It felt like combo practice, as I said earlier. Right, and there's like, you know, characters are talking to each other, but it's through text. And this could have been easily done like they did in the art style, or even just like have the characters standing there like KOF. It felt like for arcade mode in episodes of Southtown, things just felt unfinished. Like even again for episode of Southtown, there was this little mini game with Marco, you know, really putting my Ninja Storm skills to the test. But I did it in like 30 seconds, and then I was like, alright, what else is there to do? What's next? What's the next challenge? And it's just like, there's nothing. It feels to be missing that old charm where I was like, ooh, look at all this. It's finished, but it also feels unfinished. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Maybe I'm just spoiled with Streets and Tekken, but there's a lot of things that feel like should have been here that just aren't. For the last time, I promise. Duck King, it feels like he should have been here. Our cutscenes in episodes of Southtown, or even just some more modes or different UIs. It feels like it needs to be baked a little bit longer, put a little more seasoning on it. Right? Everything is good, but it just doesn't feel like everything's complete. I think it will do well as a very high competitive game, as I think people who will play competitively in fighting games will love this. All the mechanics to master, the different playstyles you can have per character. So at the end of the day, still a great fighting game, but could use a bit more to it. That's all it really is. And even, I don't like looking at Steam sales of games, but the sales of this game are down. They are quite low comparably to what it was expecting. I think it might have hit around 1 million, but I think with what SNK was wanting and how much they did with this game, they were expecting a lot more. At the end of the day, it's a really good fighting game, but it doesn't stand out. And I'm going to enjoy it and I have fun, and I hope that anyone else who picks it up also enjoys it and have fun. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you do buy it and you have fun, and that's okay.